Tarot. That's the first thing that came to my mind this morning. Why? Well, it was 40 years ago, during the height of the Satanic Panic. That's when I got into a relationship with the Ouija board, first of all, and my grandpa gave me as a gift from a toy store back in '82. By 1984, I was going deep into the occult. And the tarot is one of those things. Now, the original couple of Spanish tarot decks that I acquired back then, I lost. And I acquired copies of those. I have several copies of tarots, including pornographic tarot. But the one that I use regularly is one that I acquired at a Bahnhof in Wiesbaden. And I keep very well guarded in my temple. And I got this 35 years ago, so close enough to the Satanic Panic, 80s. Yeah, while I was stationed in Germany. And what I like about them is it's the Rider-Waite Tarot in German. And I had little scribbles around the cards, to kind of give their essential meanings and stuff like that. And I don't consult the oracle very often. I have Corey Shell oracles because I was initiated in the Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean sorcery tradition. But yeah, this German Victorian Rider-Waite Tarot is my favorite. It just something about the Victorians, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so a little booklet and a little schema to do the tarot readings. Those are just little legacy things. I don't take this out very often. As a matter of fact, I haven't taken it out in years. What is it about this tarot? There was a documentary recently on YouTube that I saw that lays the tarot in the hands of Ficino. Makes perfect sense. Now, Ficino wouldn't have wanted to be known as the author of the tarot because you have to understand the age that he was living in. The only reason he wasn't burned at the stake is because he had very powerful friends in the forms of the Medici. Ficino is ground zero for Renaissance 1.0. He would play the lyre and recite oracles. And from there, that inspired the people that were there, architects, artists, sculptors, and so forth and so on, to start the Renaissance. It makes perfect sense. Because Ficino was a genius, and like all geniuses, whether Patanjali or Ficino, they're able to take very complex concepts and simplify them. And there was illusion that Ficino created like a game to kind of simplify his teachings. Makes perfect sense. So there's astrology, numerology, Kabbalah, all the understandings at that time are embodied in this. And so I look at it more as a condensed form, like a sutra, rather than necessarily an oracle. Although it can be used that way, of course. That's how it's known, right? But, oh, by the way, the most interesting tarot deck I have was one I got at the island of Capri. Anybody knows about Roman history knows what Capri's all about. And it's this Cavalli Sforza tarot. I acquired it there. But that's an aside. Anyway, so the tarot. It's a game with condensed teachings, and all geniuses are able to condense very complex forms into very simplified forms. My genius is being able to tie loose ends and simplify them in a way that even somebody with a sixth grade education can understand. And I've had a lifetime of experience of doing just that. So, genius, that's what genius is all about, right? Like I said previously, you can have somebody that whips up a storm of words like an Aristotle or Plato, but can you have them be like a Patanjali that can condense all that in a single page? That's where the genius is, man. Alright, so let's see what the tarot, this special tarot, has to say today. I'm not going to, they're randomly placed. I'm not going to set them out in any specific form or anything like that. I'm just going to let them talk, because I talk too much anyway. Usually I'm just staring at the wall cave walls, but yep, some of them have come out. Let's see what they have to say. So we have, I believe it's the Nine of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. And what do they have to say? Let me look. Perception, contentment, wealth, joy, ecstasy, bliss, artifacts, valuable artifacts. And what else I put here? Discernment, vigilance, farsight, prudence, safety, well-being, love of nature. So this is a very interesting tarot spread, considering the times that we live in. I think it's really going to be important for us, each one of us, to be able to find our wealth, our inner wealth, as the wealth out there in the consensus world that we call reality begins to kerfuffle. And so it's going to be important to be very prudent in the resources that you do have, and to be vigilant, to be careful of all the misinformation that is going on out there. And there's going to be a lot of disenchantment. You know, a lot of people have been led on and bullshitted, and they're going to be disappointed. It's going to be really, really important to be focused on your safety and well-being and those that you care about. So don't do anything hasty, right? And the idea is to find wealth, but define wealth, right? Is it always just what you have in your 401k and your investments, or how much money you have in the bank, or what kind of wealth are we talking about, right? What kind of wealth are we really talking about? There's inner wealth as well, spiritual wealth, well-being, sense of contentment and joy, perhaps not happiness. That might be expecting too much. But contentment, perception or perfection, to seek out the greater things in life, the things that are really worth living for. True wealth, I think, is to be had for those that see what's going on right now as an opportunity to achieve true wealth, abundance, prosperity, to find the opportunities in the chaos.